Hey guys, it's Queen Elsa Haru, and I'm here today with another exciting episode of Ask an Aquarius. Okay, I have two here today. I don't know if I'm gonna get to both of them. I might end up doing one tomorrow. It just depends on how long the first one, the most important one, takes me. I'm gonna do that one first. So I got this from actually one of my friend's pages. She asked this question on her page, and I've been pondering it ever since she asked the question. So I'm going to tell you what it is and what I've come up with. The question says that some people are afraid to heal because their entire existence revolves around the trauma that they have endured. How do you help this type of person heal? How do you reach someone whose identity is based on their trauma? Deep question. That's you can see why I've been pondering it for so long. Because, as a healer and as a priestess and as a counselor, I come across people like this all the time. They're people who are afraid to heal, don't want to heal, and they're quite honestly the most difficult clients that you'll come across because healing is not something I can do for you. Healing is something I help you do for yourself. So, a person whose entire existence is based on their trauma is missing the first fundamental to healing: willingness. You have to be open to healing. You have to want healing. You have to seek healing. It can't be something that somebody does to you or imposes upon you like a magic wand and blink, you're healed. It doesn't work like that. The first thing is that you have to go through it's a mental process. So the first part of the process is being open to healing, wanting to heal. And if you're afraid to heal or unwilling to heal because your existence is based on your trauma, you're going to fight. You're going to be resistant. You're going to resist the healing. Even if the healing comes to you, you're going to resist it. Those types of people will fight to stay in their trauma. They will also fight not to forgive themselves and not to forgive others. So this type of person is going to be really difficult. This type of person really needs some type of intense work. So we're thinking here like spiritual work, therapeutic work, something like that. This person might even need more than likely years of that kind of work, that kind of healing. So what can we do to reach them? Well, when I've come across a person like this, I just remained consistent. I kept on telling them every time I saw them how they could heal, healing methods. I always had something to say, in like a discreet kind of way about healing. If they were my client, I mentioned it every time it came up in the cards. I just kept talking to them about it. I'll give you a perfect example. I had a client who was unwilling to heal because she was unwilling to leave her abusive lover. You can't heal and be with an abusive lover at the same time. Those two things can't coexist. So she didn't want to do the process of healing because she didn't want to let go of this man. So this man was abusive, emotionally, mentally, physically. So I just kept on talking. Every time it came up in the cards, I just kept on having a conversation with her. It took 2 years before she ended the relationship. But I didn't care. I just kept at it. So when you have somebody that's like this, it is going to take some convincing, some conversation for them to even understand that there is a problem and that they need to address it. Or if they feel that there's a problem, because many of them are aware of it, they're just afraid, to let go of the trauma because they don't even know who they're going to be without the trauma. Who would I be without my trauma? I thought about that before when I was first starting to work on healing. Who will I be when this process is over? And it's kind of scary because you have no idea. But coming on the other side, I like the me. I like the me that is the healed me. I like that me. a lot more than I like the other me, a whole lot more. So, but when you're in the throes of this, you don't know that. So it's like, who am I going to be? What's going to happen? The unknown becomes very frightening and very real at that moment. So, as their friends, as their family, as their loved ones, as their therapists, as their spiritual guides, all we can do is keep on talking to them. It's the only thing you can do. You can't make them heal, you can't make them release the trauma. All you can do is keep talking to them about it and going through their process with it, going through their mental process with it. And after some time, usually some coaxing, some love, some mercy, some compassion. After you working with them for a while, some of them will decide, yeah, I do want to heal, and some of them won't. That's the really sad part about being a healer, is that once you've done this long enough, you know that some people are not going to choose to heal. Some people just are not going to choose the light, and you have to accept that. Part of this, as the healer, as the loved one, as the friend, as the mother, as the sister, is that we have to understand that some of them are just not going to do it. But you know that in the back of your mind, you file that, and you don't act on it. Instead, you just keep on trying. You just keep talking to them. I mean, as long as you can. Like I said, it took me 2 years in that other situation with the client, and finally she did it. And she's fine now. It's years later. I mean, we talking about a long time ago, but she's fine now. She's in a good relationship, and she's working through, her life and her business plan, and trying to create an empire. So some people will, and some people won't. So keep on encouraging them, keep on talking to them, keep on allowing them room to explore their thought processes in a safe space. Be their confidant in that kind of way. And hopefully, eventually, they'll see that their identity can be even better, even happier, even at more peace without the trauma that has become their existence. So that's all I really can say about that. It's really sad to watch it happen, and I've seen it so many times, and every time that's how I handled it. I just kept coming at it with compassion. I just kept trying every chance I got, and sometimes they come around and sometimes they don't. And through the process, I will pray for them, light a white candle for them, and just keep on asking the angels to go to them and encourage them to heal themselves, to seek healing. I don't think a lot of people think that healing is possible. A lot of people haven't seen it in other people around them. So I don't even think they know. Like, I know for me, I didn't even know how. Like, how do you heal? People would say therapy. And then people would say, oh, therapy doesn't work. And when I got to that space in my life, I was like about maybe 29. And I was getting all these different ideas. Oh, therapy doesn't work. Yeah, do this. And like people going back and forth. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try every healing, every emotional healing modality I can get my hand on. I don't care what it is, cards, books, crystals, therapy. I'm going to try everything and see what works. And some things worked and some things didn't. But I kept trying things until I was able to heal myself. And you can tell, like, you feel better gradually throughout the process. And I just kept trying things. Therapy was very helpful. I went for about a year, very helpful. Spirituality was extremely helpful. Crystals were helpful, extremely so, like rose quartz, working with different rhodonite, different crystals were very helpful. Talking to my friends, forgiveness. Oh, forgiveness was so helpful. Forgiving myself and forgiving other people. It's so many healing modalities, and I didn't even realize it at first, and I just started seeking them. So the first thing was just going out there and seeking, how can I heal? So that's what we do with these poor people. We love them, and we talk to them, and we pray for them, and we hope. We hope for the light. So the other one I wanted to give you, since I have time left over, was petty. I wanted to talk to you about petty. Okay, so lately I've noticed maybe for about maybe a year or over, I have noticed people saying, "Oh, I'm petty. I'm the pettiest. I'm Petty Murphy," you know, stuff like that. I'm petty. I'm Petty LaBelle. I've heard stuff like that, and like people are like bragging on social media and Twitter about who's petty, and I'm the pettiest. And we had a conversation about it in the room the other day, and the girl said, "I'm petty and I like it." And I was sitting there thinking to myself, whenever a woman comes on to me, I always go to her Facebook page because the first thing I want to see is what is her online presence like. People say that some people are very different offline than they are online, which is very true. But who you are online gives me an indicator of who your shadow is. And I want to know your shadow, because if I'm going to deal with you and I can't deal with your shadow, then I can't deal with you. Everybody has a shadow, and I want to see just what's going on in yours. So a lot of people do show their shadows online. So a lot of times I'll go to a woman's post or go to her profile on Facebook or Twitter or whatever the case is and look. And if she has anything in it about being petty, I don't read the rest of it. I move on, because by definition, I'm anti-petty. By definition. Because the thing is this: if you're in your late 20s, 30s, and 40s and you're bragging about being petty, um, it's problematic, because being petty is being childish. So it's the exact opposite of what you want to be as a grown person. You want to be non-petty. You want to be stable. You want to be somebody who is compassionate. You want to be a person who is considerate. You want to be a person who is karmically free. You want to be a decent person. You want to be a good person, a mature person, have a happy, good life. So if you're bragging about being petty, you're bragging about negative qualities, childish qualities. You're bragging that when you say to me, I'm petty, what I hear immediately is, I like drama. I cause a lot of mess. I'm not considerate. I'm not merciful. I'm not compassionate. And none of these things are the kind of person that I want to spend time with. So I think that it particularly hit me because I saw it, and I was like, if you are on social media or if you are in your life period bragging about being petty, just know that people who are anti-petty are not going to want to deal with you. Especially, like, think about it, like a lover, a job. If I was going to hire somebody to be my counselor, my therapist, my teacher, whatever, and I went on their page and it said I'm petty, I'm not going to want to hire them, because first and foremost, that's telling me you're going to be a pain in the butt. You're going to be a pain in the behind. You're probably going to have a hard time dealing with people. You're going to be uncooperative. It just says a lot of negative things about you. And if that's who you are, and that's who you want to be, then that's who you are and that's who you want to be. But I just want to make you aware of how other people are perceiving you. Now, I'm never a person who cares what other people think about me. I do whatever I want, and if they are, if they like me, they like me. If they don't like me, then they just don't like me. I'm fine with that. But I want you to know how it looks, because I don't think petty people really realize that non-petty people are looking at you, and you are losing opportunities, I'm sure, in lots of different ways, but behind professing and being petty. So if you're petty and you love it, more power to you. But if you're petty and it's just something that you think is cute or trendy or whatever the case is, it's not. It's really not. It's not a positive quality, and it's not a quality that a lot of people are going to want to be around, especially when you're telling them up front, broadcasting on your Facebook page, I am petty. And I'm reading that like, I'm not dating you, and you trying to holler at me, and you got on your page, I am petty. So when we have an argument or a disagreement or something happens between us, I can't expect maturity from you, because you're going to be petty. So that makes my brain go backwards to dramatic situations that I've endured in the past. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Nobody wants to date petty. Nobody wants to date that except for other petty people. And two petty people might kill each other. That might not be good. So I just wanted you guys to know that, because that's something that really is a big turnoff to me, and I've been seeing it a lot. And people profess it like, I'm coming out, like I'm petty, like they profess it like it's something that's fabulous, and it's really not. It just makes you look really, really bad, and it says to people that you're more than likely not a good person. So just consider that. Just consider that energy. If you want to be petty, you want to scream it from the mountaintops, go right ahead. But just know, I don't say. You can never say Queen didn't tell you. You can never say I didn't warn you. All right. So that is it for today's episode of Ask an Aquarius. So I hope that these things helped you in some way. Um, these lessons have helped me to grow as a person, so that's why I'm sharing them. Okay? See you later.